With so much software and so many services available in the short-term rental industry these days, it's increasingly difficult to keep up to date with what's on the market and to determine whether it's a maybe or a must-have for you and your business. So meet one provider each week in a short interview, learning what they do and what they offer. So if you have around 20 minutes to spare, it could prove to be a very good investment to stick around. So let's see who and what is out there, one by one, with me, Deborah Larby, also known as the Guest Inspector. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Techsplained with the Guest Inspector. As today's company founder thought back in 2014, so many of us obsess about what we put in our bodies. We drink filtered water and organic food, but how often do we think about the quality of air that we're breathing? Jump ahead 9 years and we have a company that has a device that can purify air, but it also has another device that can detect smoking in your property as well as monitor noise. So two very important short-term rental issues managed with one device. Today, I'm chatting with Dora from Wind, whose device Sentry does just that. Hello, Dora. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much for joining me today. Dora, as per usual, we're going to launch straight into it. And can you please tell me, I think we're going to bring it in rather than talk about Wind, we'll just talk about Sentry. In one sentence, can you please tell us, what does Sentry do?
Yeah, so Sentry is the only device that protects properties from recreational smoke and unwanted noise to ensure happy guests, hosts, and neighbors.
Lovely. Okay, so I'm a property manager. I want to use your device. Can you tell me the process? It's just, I have to buy the device, obviously. And then can you tell me then about installation and the app or the dashboard? What do I see? How does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sentry was made to protect properties from incidences. So smoking, parties, so they can keep their neighbors happy and avoid costs associated with an incident, which could, cost over $1,500. That's a result of deep cleaning costs, having to clean up the carpets, the linens, for the extreme cases, repainting the walls, lost revenue from lost occupancy. So if you have a guest that's coming in afterwards, you might have to delay their check-in because you're cleaning out the space and your host reputation from potentially negative reviews. So, we made a product to deter, prevent, and report these unwanted incidences in one's short-term rental.
Yeah.
So what you get as a package, you get the physical hardware, you get the app, and the software services associated with it.
Right. And the device, what does it need? Does it need power? Does it need Wi-Fi? Does it work on Bluetooth?
Yeah, so it's Wi-Fi connected, and it does need power. Yeah. So yeah, and basically, when we connect up the device, what it's able to do is basically 4 key things. It's able to detect the unwanted smoke, obviously unwanted noise, reporting, and have actual tamper protection. So
yeah,
let's say if someone tries to tamper with the device and it gets disconnected, you can actually get an alert notification. And
can we just wind back a second? So I'm still interested in, what do I see? So I get the device, and then I get an app. It's not on a dashboard, right? It's on an app. And then I get all the data, anything that goes on from that device, I can see registered on the app.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you can see all the data within the app. And then you also get the reporting. So you can get that reporting SMS or, text message to you or email to you as well.
Right. So if a guest is smoking, then obviously my app is going to go, bing, a guest is smoking. Do I have to contact the guest to say, hey, put it out? Or does Sentry or Wind contact the guest? I have to do that, right? You have no guest details, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I,
So um, basically what we've done is we've input like pre-written messages so that you can politely remind your guest. What we've seen is 90% of the time, a polite reminder will actually prevent the issue from continuing to happen.
mm,
So we have that information for you so
I
that you
suppose,
can talk. Mhm.
yeah, so it's the simplicity of no integrations. It's a standalone device. I get the notification and I then forward that message to the guest to say, put it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder
exactly.
how surprised they'll be when they go, how do they know? Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, some of the hosts actually will put the device in the housing policy or the housing rules,
yeah,
and that generally will deter unwanted guests.
yeah.
Obviously, the best case scenario is not having any incidences at all, so we generally
Sure.
recommend to put in your housing rules.
Yeah. And so when you say recreational smoke, so that's cigarettes, cigars?
Yeah, exactly. So we actually we've developed our sensors ourselves, and we use a technology called Air ID. And that actually is able to detect specifically for cigarette, marijuana, and cigar smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, all under what we call recreational smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say someone's cooking, or someone lights a candle, or, is using cleaning products.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you won't get an alert for those things. You'll only get it for recreational smoke, so
Mm-hmm.
that, stops any false positives.
Yeah. How sensitive is it? If my guest is hanging out the window smoking, and of course, smoke always comes back in anyway, can it pick that up?
It really depends on the saturation. It is quite sensitive.
Okay.
So yeah, it is generally quite sensitive. So it just really depends on, like, does the guest have the windows like sealed tight,
Mm,
and while they're outside,
mm.
and whether they bring in, a ton of smoke inside with them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And on your website, you mentioned that you're going to be able to detect vaping soon. Is that already a feature or it's still coming?
It's still coming.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, we do have it working internally, but right now, just we're still putting it through rigorous testing environments. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we will be
Yeah.
launching that soon.
That's a very interesting one because a lot of people that I know that vape don't consider it smoking. So when it says no smoking, they think, well, it's okay to vape. So that's going to be a very interesting one to shut down. But I think that's a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, and you're right. It will save you, in terms of deep cleans and painting the walls and things like that to catch smoking early. And plus, neighbors. There are a lot of complaints about people smoking and then going in the neighbors' windows. And of course, we don't want to be disturbing neighbors. So being able to pick up cigarette smoke or any other kind of smoking is great.
Yeah, definitely. And, a lot of times that is paired with parties,
Yeah.
which is why we have our noise sensor as well, because we want to make sure, first and foremost, that our neighbors are happy. We don't want our neighbors complaining.
Mm. Now, how does the noise monitoring work then? Do I set, like, okay, it can go up to this noisy, or is it sort of like built in, it shouldn't be louder than this to be acceptable?
Yeah, absolutely. So it uses a seisonic MEMS technology. Essentially, it's just a fancy way of saying, we measure unwanted noise levels without violating the privacy of our guests.
Mm-hmm.
So you can set for certain decibel levels. We have a pre-defaulted one that is set for you,
Yeah.
but you can adjust it as needed.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, on your website, you mentioned incident reporting. So can you explain what that means then? What that is?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, what we found is basically with smoking, it's really hard to prove. So let's say you submit a claim through AirCover. A lot of the time they'll ask you for photographic evidence, but it's kind of hard
Mm.
to take photos of smoking. So the reporting feature we've seen is super helpful, and a lot of our customers actually use it to get the reimbursements back. The way that it works is essentially once a smoking incident occurs or a noise incident occurs, it'll monitor for it and provide it in an actual report.
Okay.
So you'll be able to see the fluctuations in it, export it through the app, or it could be sent through email. And you can send that directly through either air cover or through your insurance claims.
That's actually something that I didn't even think of. If someone smokes and you have to do extra cleaning or what have you, and how do you prove it? You can't document a smell. So that's
Yeah, and then it just becomes, like a he said, she said.
yeah.
Because like they'll ask you, okay, to basically go through the resolution center with the guests, and the guests will be like, well, I never smoked, and yeah, it's really hard to prove.
Yeah. And so this device, apparently if the electricity cuts off, there is a backup battery.
Yeah, exactly. So so if it does disconnect, you get the alert notification, and there's a 48-hour battery life, so it'll continue to monitor and you'll continue to get alerts, so that you'll be able to still have that information.
Yeah. So in the case where the noise level is going up, you get alerted. You can send the messages as per the smoking notice. And then if the power gets cut off, then you get another notification, but it still monitors it. So even if they try to pull the plug on or switch the fuse off, it's still being recorded.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I have to say, I was searching around on your website, and on the Century website landing page, I have to say that video is very funny.
Oh, did you like it?
I did. I watch every time I check out any company. I always watch all the videos, and this one, I thought,
Nice.
oh, this one is a good one. I would actually recommend everyone to go to the Century page and watch the video. It's quite fun. I like a bit of humor in business, and that was great. I had to add that.
Yeah, it was a really interesting journey, actually, because we wanted to make it about both the guest and the host and the neighbors, right? We wanted to make it about the community, because this device could very easily be positioned as, like we're a narc, but we're really not trying to do that. We want to make sure everyone's happy, right? Like, we don't want a guest coming in to a house that's been smoked in. We want to make sure that the host is able to keep their property in the condition that they want it to be in. We want to make sure that the communities are happy with the guests that come and stay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's great. Really good. Now, I just wanted to touch on, in the introduction, we were talking about the founder and, thinking about the quality of air. Now, with the two podcasts that I'm working on, we're talking, in one of the podcasts, we were talking about hypoallergenic guests and a very niche market being, using organic cotton sheets and organic products for the hypoallergenic niche of guest. With you have a product that's an air purifier. I wonder if you can just touch on that. So perhaps managers who really want to target this niche guest might consider this. So how does the air purifier work, and what does it look like? Things like that.
Yeah. So we actually started as a air quality company. So, our founders, basically ex-MIT engineers, saw that there was an issue with air quality and it wasn't being addressed. So they built a purifier and sensor. Originally they were looking at outsourcing the sensor, but they found that there was nothing very accurate. So our engineers worked for, the largest space companies, and used a lot of the very similar air quality technology, basically with our sensors. So for us, we thought that two things were very important. It's knowing what was in your air, so how we built out Century, but also being able to purify it as needed. We have two purifier products. So we have a portable solution and we also have a large space solution. You might have actually seen some of the portable solutions in Apple stores. We've launched there. Yeah, the portable solution essentially has a built-in air quality sensor, so it can purify the air as needed. You can put it on your desk, you can bring it with you wherever you go, and it purifies things like allergens, dust particles, smoke. There's a layer of embedded silver that does bacteria and viral kill. It's basically this pleated filter, so that increases the surface area of the filtration. So in a very, very small device, you actually get a lot of purification. And then for our large space purifier, it purifies 1,200 square feet. It has a dual filter. So you get, large space of filtration, and a very, very powerful fan. So it brings in a lot of air. It has activated carbon so that it takes out odors, it purifies pet dander, allergens, dust particles, smoking, cooking smoke, candle smoke.
If a manager didn't want it to be too intrusive, could you just have one of these portable ones can look after one room? Is that right? Or is it just more of a localized area at the desk?
Yeah, so for the portable device, it's more of a localized area that you could put on your desk, you could put it on your nightstand, and have it pointing towards you.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually use it as also a white noise, white noise fan. So if they're looking for something that's smaller and more portable, that's the perfect solution. For the larger space one, there's actually a night mode on it. So let's just say people want to have it on at night. You can put on a night mode, and there's variable settings that you can adjust it to.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting idea if you are targeting that kind of guest to offer something like that. I never thought about air quality before, but in this day and age, like you said, we don't know what we're breathing in.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's kind of where we started, with these indoor air quality devices and with our purifiers and our monitors. And when a large, I guess a subset of our customers were property managers and property owners. And they were like, you know what, your device has been super helpful on the purification side, but also on the monitoring side. And we've actually seen, like, with increases levels of pollution, we've been able to go and make sure that our properties are clean of smoke. So there's one particular story actually where they were using our monitor and they saw, basically spikes in air quality, and they were like, okay, what's going on? They go in to check their Airbnb and they found someone actually cooking heroin. So, from those stories, we were like, okay, like, this monitoring equipment is actually really useful for this very niche segment. So we did some more market research and developed Sentry specifically for it.
That's fantastic. Just back to Sentry for a second. So we'd need a device in each room. Is that right? Or does one, it would be one in each room. So then you'd have the app for each room.
Yeah. So for each enclosed space.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, I think we've touched on the point of why would anyone use the product, and I suppose the unique selling point is the recreational smoke detection for Sentry. Very, very good. I suppose there's no need for white labeling. Who is your target audience? I suppose it's even a manager with one property can benefit from this device.
Yeah, exactly. A manager or owner of one property to property managers who manage multiple.
Yeah, sure. Now, where is your target audience? Are you only based in America? Do you only ship out to America? Or is it global?
Yeah, so right now, just North America, but we are looking at expanding. Obviously, there's a huge opportunity across the globe. So
yes. And how much does it cost? How much does one device cost? Ballpark figure.
Yeah, right now, so the hardware is actually free. And it's $180 a year, so about $15 a month. And if you think about it, right, incidences can cost upwards of $1,500. So if you have one incident every 8 years, it'll pay off the device. So and generally we've seen incidences happen much more frequently than that.
Mm. Mm. It's an insurance. And is
Yeah.
there, so if the device is free, is there a contract then for the subscription for the app? Can it just go month to month, or you want a year?
Yeah, so it's an annual contract. There is a monthly option as well, and that's $19 a month for a 1-year contract.
Okay, lovely. We've come to the end of the interview. Is there something else about Sentry or the air purifiers that we should know about before we sign off?
I mean, I think we've covered most of it. Air ID is our bread and butter. It's our own sensor technology with machine learning that's that we've consistently refined. And it's really important that we make sure that the data that you get is true. You're not getting false positives, so that it can accurately detect for these types of unwanted incidences.
Yeah, I think it's great. I will pop the link for Wind in the comments below and the link for the video.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions for Dora or Wind about the product, please do pop them in the comments below. Dora, it's been lovely learning about these products from Wind. Really good.
Yeah, it's been great speaking with you.
Thank you very, very much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to catch up on ones you've missed, just head to the Techsplained Or if you're short for time, you can head to thetechminis.com where you'll find extra short interviews. See you next time.